So sinking your hips towards your heels, drawing your knees wide. You can also keep your knees closer in together. Hips towards your heels, reaching your fingertips long out in front. Focusing here on your breath. And maybe setting an intention for class today. This year's International Yoga Day theme is Self and Society. So maybe setting an intention of gratitude, something that you are grateful for, something that allows you to be grateful. Maybe peace, peace within, peace amongst others. Maybe acceptance, accept the things that you cannot control and letting go of the things. Accepting things that you can control and letting go of things that you cannot control. Maybe rolling your forehead from side to side. Filling your belly, ribs, and lungs all the way to the top. Hold it. Full exhale, lungs, ribs, and belly. Maybe trying to stretch your fingertips 1 more inch further, sinking your hips 1 inch back towards your heels. Continuing with that breath, deep inhales, deep exhales. After your next full exhale, feeling all the way back to the top. Once you get there, hold it at the top and exhale through your nose. Take the next 50 minutes and focus on yourself. Bring calmness within. If your mind starts to wander, and it will, allow those thoughts to come and go and return to your practice by focusing on your breath. This is your time to connect with yourself. Modify as you like and need to make this practice your own. If something doesn't suit you this morning, find a pose that does and rejoin when you're ready. That's perfectly okay. From here, bending the elbows, bring your palms to touch, either at the crown of your head, maybe drawing your thumbs towards the nape of your neck for a tricep stretch. Gently releasing your hands back down towards the floor. From here, with your arms extended long out in front, we're going to press forward, stacking our shoulders over our hips, keeping your heels in towards your glutes, elbows tucked in. We're going to lower down for 3, 2, and 1. Releasing all the way down. Extend your legs out long. Still with your wrists under your shoulders. Press up, give me 1 mini cobra. Release down. Let's do that 1 more time. This time when you get to the top, try lifting your hands, using your back muscles to hold you upright. Maybe lift an inch higher. Slowly release down. Extend your right arm long out from your right shoulder. Relax your right leg. Lift your left leg up and draw it up and over the outside of your right hip. Maybe just releasing your right ear or cheek to the floor. On your exhale, gently fold back onto your tummy, drawing your left leg down, right hand back under your right shoulder. Extend your left arm out long. Relax your left leg, lift your right leg high, draw your toe up and over to the outside of your left hip. Maybe just releasing your left cheek or ear towards the floor, allowing your right hip to open. On your next exhale, gently roll back onto your tummy, releasing both hands under the shoulder. Press up, mini cobra. Release down. Draw your hands under your lowest rib cage. Press up, full cobra. Maybe lifting your hips up off the floor, maybe keeping them on the ground. Gaze over your left shoulder. Come back through center, gaze over your right shoulder. Come back through center, lift your gaze up toward the ceiling. Bring your gaze forward. Draw your hips back, sinking your hips in towards your heels, coming back to our child's pose. Gently rise up, find your tabletop, stack your shoulders over your wrist, knees under your hips. Just bumping your hips side to side here. Any organic movement that feels good to you today. Come back to the center, tuck your toes, hammock your belly down, lift your gaze, bring your gaze up toward the ceiling. Spiral your elbow creases in. On your exhale, untuck your toes, round your spine, gazing up towards the ceiling. Come through, tuck your toes, deep inhale, lift your gaze. Come through neutral spine, untuck your toes, round your spine. Let's do cat and cow 2 more times. This time, keep the top shoelace portion of your foot on the floor as you inhale, pressing your toes in towards the floor. Come through neutral spine, round up, gaze towards the tops of your thighs. 1 more time through, keeping your toes flat on the floor. Lift your gaze, hammock your belly. Exhale, round your spine. Coming into cat. Come back to a flat back. Maybe pat around your toes. Maybe coming back, doing side to side. From here, lift your left arm high. Exhale, draw your left arm under and through the right side body. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sweep. 1 more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sweep all the way under and through the right side body. Maybe releasing your left ear or cheek to the floor if that's comfortable for you. You can also place a block underneath the left ear. Maybe reaching that left arm further under the right side body. You can also extend your right leg long. Just like a kickstand, you can extend your right arm long. Maybe bind your right hand around your left hip. Gently release your right hand back under your right shoulder if you had it. It's going to keep that right leg long. Inhale, lengthen, left arm high. Exhale, release your left hand under your left shoulder. Lift your right leg high. Draw your knee to your elbow. Kick it back. Exhale, draw that right leg over the left side body. Getting my left and rights mixed up already. Maybe gazing, looking over your left shoulder. Feeling that deep side stretch. Inhale, lengthen, kick that right leg straight back. Exhale, draw your right knee to your left elbow. Exhale, kick it back. Draw that right leg up and over left side body. Holding here and breathing. Inhale, lengthen, kick that right leg straight back. Exhale, tuck your knee to your nose. Hold it here for 3, 2, and 1. Step your right foot in between your palms. You are welcome to place a block underneath your left hand. Reach your right arm high, circle out that wrist. Maybe circle your shoulder forwards and backwards. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tap your right hand to your left wrist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tap. 1 more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tap. This time, cartwheel both hands down towards the floor or on blocks. We're just going to walk that right foot out to the right edge of your mat. From here, press your hips forward, opening up that right hip, and then draw your hips back. Your hands can be on the floor or on blocks. On the next one, hold your hips forward, maybe coming down onto your forearms, maybe coming onto blocks. Holding here and breathing. Your right toes are turned out to about 2 o'clock. You can keep that left toe tucked or just relaxed on the floor. Bring your hands back under your shoulders, left hand under your left shoulder. Draw your right hand to the inside of your right leg. Gently press your knee open, rocking to the outer knife edge of your right foot. Looking over your right shoulder. If you like, you can grab a strap, maybe bending your right foot, bringing your left hand back. Gently releasing your right hand down. From here, we're going to draw the hips back, straighten that front right leg, walk your hands back towards your hips, point, flex, maybe circle out that right ankle. We're going to have a seat, keeping that right leg extended, keeping the left foot in towards the right leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release your right hand to the inside of your right leg. Left arm comes up overhead, side bend. Inhale, lengthen. Release your left hand behind your left hip. Lift your hips high, stargazer. Sweep your right arm up high overhead. Exhale, release. Reach your arms high overhead. Forward fold over your right foot. You can grab a strap here. You can place a block, keeping your right knee bent. Both elbows on either side of your right leg. Maybe bringing your forehead towards your knee. Inhale, lengthen. Draw your left hand behind your left hip. Inhale, sweep. Exhale, release. Come back to a tabletop position. Releasing that right knee under the right, left knee under the left. Bump your hips side to side. Inhale, lengthen, sweep your right arm high. Exhale, sweep it under and through the left side body. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sweep. One more time. Inhale, lengthen, right arm even higher. Exhale, draw that right arm all the way under and through the left side body. Maybe releasing your right ear or cheek towards the floor. You can keep that left hand boxed out. If you like to extend it long overhead, you can also draw your left hand to your right hip. Maybe extending your left leg long like a kickstand. Hold it for the exhale. Gently release your left hand under your left shoulder. Keep that left leg extended. Inhale, lengthen. Reach your right arm high. Exhale, release your right hand under your right shoulder. Inhale, lengthen, left leg high. Exhale, draw your left knee to your left elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left leg to the outside of your right body. Looking over your right shoulder, feeling that deep stretch all along the left side body. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw your left knee to your right elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sweep. Looking over your right shoulder, maybe pressing your heels back to deepen that stretch. Hold it for the exhale. Inhale, lengthen, kick your left leg straight back. Exhale, draw your knee to your nose. Hold it here for 3, 2, and 1. Step your left foot in between your palms. You're welcome to place your hands on blocks if you'd like. Right hand to the floor or a block, left arm reaches up high. Circle out your left wrist. Circle out your shoulder forwards and backwards. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tap your left hand to your right wrist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tap. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lengthen. From here, release your left hand back down the floor. Walk your left foot to the outer edge of the left side of your mat. Left toes turn to about 10 o'clock. From here, both hands on the floor or on blocks. Press your hips forward, opening up that left hip, and draw your hips back. Just moving forwards and backwards a few times on this side. On the next one, hold your hips forward. Option to keep your arms lifted. You can also come down onto your forearms on the floor or on blocks. You can tuck your right toes, hovering your back right leg. You can also keep that right knee on the floor. Gently walk your hands back under your shoulders with your right hand on the floor or on the block. Release your left hand to the inside of your left knee and rock to that outer knife edge of your left foot. Maybe gazing, looking over your left shoulder. If you'd like a deeper quad stretch on the right side, you can bend your right knee, reach back with your left hand. You can also use a strap here. If you have that right leg bent, go ahead and extend it. From here, we're going to draw the hips back, straightening that front left leg. Walk your hands back towards your hips with blocks or on the floor. Point, flex, circle out that left ankle. Gently release your hips now and keep that left leg straight. Bring the sole of your right foot inside of your right leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, left hand to the inside of your left leg, side bend. Gazing out underneath your right armpit. Inhale, rise. Release your right hand behind your right hip. Press your hips up. Release your left arm overhead. Gently and slowly release back down. Sweep your arms up high overhead. Forward fold over your left foot. So both arms on either side. Maybe drawing your elbows down. Maybe noticing how one side may feel different than the other. Maybe reaching the crown of your head towards your toes. Hold it here for the exhale. Inhale to rise. Release your right hand behind your right hip. Inhale, lift. Pressing your hips forward. Exhale, release down. Come back to your tabletop, bend into that left knee. Release your left knee under your left hip. Release your right knee under your right hip. Bump your hip side to side. Go ahead and place 1 or 2 blocks between your ankles. From here, walk your hands towards your knees. Rise up, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, cactus, lift your gaze. Spread your fingertips wide. Really squeeze your shoulder blades together. One more time. Inhale, arms overhead, gaze forward. Exhale, lift your gaze. Draw your elbows down. Inhale, arms overhead, gaze comes forward. Start with the left side. Release your left hand to the block, your ankle or the floor. Right arm sits up high overhead. Press those hips forward. Inhale, rise, left arm up overhead, gaze forward. Exhale, release your right hand to that block, your ankle or the floor. Left arm stays overhead, press the hips forward. Inhale, rise both arms overhead. Exhale, left hand behind on the block, your ankle or floor. Really press your hips forward. Maybe lean further back. Inhale, rise both arms overhead. Exhale, release your right hand to the block, your ankle or the floor. Press your hips forward. Maybe try to gaze back to that wall behind you. Inhale, rise. Maybe one more cactus. Bend your elbows, lift your gaze. Inhale, lengthen. Keep that block where it's at. So if you have 2, go ahead and remove 1. Bring your hands to heart center. Forward fold. From here, we're going to rock forward, coming into a chaturanga with our knees down, feet are flat, wrists under your shoulders. Lower down this time for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Releasing all the way down, keeping that block between your feet. Release your hands by your side, palms in, pinkies in, thumbs out. We're going to lift and lower for locust. Grab that block and lower down. 4 more. Lift, release down. That's it. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. 2 more. All right, on this next one, we're going to hold it. I want you to lift even higher. We're already at 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, higher, and 1. Release down. Walk your hands under your shoulders. Give me 1 mini cobra. Release down. From here, we're going to come into puppy dog. So you can find tabletop, Pressing your hips up, extending your arms out long. You can also come right from cobra, pressing your hips up. You can keep that block just where it's at. Maybe releasing your forearms onto the floor. Maybe extend your arms out longer. Your forehead can be on a block or on the floor. If you like, you can bend your elbows, bringing your palms to the crown of your head, maybe to the nape of your neck. Release your hands if you had them bent. Press up, come back to a tabletop. Release that block off to the side. Walk your hands up, palm print forward. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, coming into our first downward facing dog this morning. Pedal out your heels. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, release them over to the right side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release them over to the left side. Inhale, lengthen. Come back, pedal them out. Biceps frame your ears. Spiral those elbows in. Press it in with your thumb, index finger. Next exhale, gently walk your hands to the middle of your mat. Walk your feet to meet your hands. Forward fold. Let your neck hang nice and loose. Half lift, hands to shins, crown of your head towards the top of your mat. Exhale, forward fold. Keeping the weight in the balls of your feet. You can grab opposite elbows. You can keep a bend in the knees. Rocking side to side, ragdoll. Really letting your neck hang nice and loose here. To center, release your hands down to the floor. Left hand to the floor, right arm to the ceiling. You can bend into that left knee or hold it straight. Release your right hand down to the floor. Left arm lifts. You can gaze up or down, maybe bend to that right knee. Release your left hand down. Half lift. Forward fold. Maybe shake your head yes. Shake your head no. Notice are you falling deeper into the forward fold. Full exhale. Gently rise up. One vertebrae at a time. Sweep your arms up high overhead. It's going to turn to face you all. Walk your feet in. They can be touching, they can be hip width or wider. Go ahead and bring your hands together, releasing your thumbs and index fingers. We're going to turn side to side, side bend, bump your hips to the left, arms to the right. Come through center, hips to the right, arms to the left. Biceps, squeeze your ears one more time each side. Hips to the left, arms to the right. Inhale, lengthen. Over to the left side. Come back through center. Bring your arms up overhead. Curtsy your right leg behind your left. Left hand grabs right wrist, side bend over to the left side. Deep stretch all on the right side body. Inhale, rise. Unbind. Lift your right knee high, standing single leg mountain. Flex your right foot. Bend your elbows, open your hips. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Hold the hip open. Keep your arms back overhead and come into tree, planting your right foot to the inside of your left leg. Maybe your ankle, your calf, your thigh, avoiding your left knee. Maybe sway your tree branches side to side. You can come into cow face arms. You can switch sides if you'd like. Hold it here for one more breath. Bring your hands to heart center, release your right foot, circle out your right ankle. So the same thing on the other side, release your right foot straight down, sweep your arms up high overhead. Clasp your hands, release your thumb and index finger. Let's start to the left side, hips to the right, arms to the left. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hips to the left, arms to the right. Inhale, rise. Bending deeper this time, trying to bump somebody off your mat with your right hip. Inhale, rise. Very nice. Exhale, arms to the right, hips to the left. Inhale, lengthen. Release your bind. Left foot comes behind the right. Right hand grabs left wrist. Side bend over to the right side. Feeling that deep side bend all along the left side body. Inhale, release your binds. Draw your left knee up. Standing single leg mountain. Right leg is your base. Find your balance. Exhale, bend your knee. Open up your chest. Come back through center. One more time. Open up your chest. Hold that left knee out from your left hip. Release your arms back overhead. Draw the sole of your left foot to the inside of your right ankle, right calf, maybe up towards your thigh. Avoid putting weight onto your right knee. Maybe try a different arm. Maybe do a balance challenge, closing your eyes, one or both. You can sway your tree branches. You can always bring your hands to heart center. Hold it here for one more breath. Bring your hands to heart center. Release your left foot down. Circle out your left ankle. Sweep your arms up high overhead. Swan dive forward. Half lift, hands to shins. Forward fold. Walk your hands and feet out, coming back to a downward facing dog. Pedal those heels. All right, lift your right leg high, three-legged dog. Bend your right knee, stack your hip. Maybe circle out your right ankle. Square out your hips. Extend that right leg straight back. Exhale, draw your right knee to your right elbow. Over to the left. Back to the right, kick it back. Exhale, knee to nose. Tap it down. And lift. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw your knee to your opposite elbow. Tap right. Tap left. Kick it back. Draw that right knee towards your right wrist. We're going to come into half pigeon. You can scoot your left leg back. You can place a block underneath your right hip. You can place blocks under your hands, walking yourself up. Chest is lifted. Opening up that left hip, squeeze your glute to also open up your left quad. You can walk your hands forward, coming into a forward fold. One of my favorite stretches here is rolling side to side to really allow that right hip to open up. Bring your hands back under your shoulders. Tuck your left toes. We're going to do something fun here. We're going to do a number 4 in down dog. So keep that right knee bent and slide your right ankle on your left thigh. Lift your hips up. From here, we're going to come into power dog. So draw that left knee down. Keep the cross, right ankle over your left thigh, and lift. 2 more times. Bend that left knee down. And lift. 1 more time, bend it down. And lift. From here, release that bind. Extend your right leg straight back. Three-legged dog. Draw your knee to your nose, step through. Rise up, high crescent. Shoulders stacked over your hips. We're going to do a quick little flow here. Exhale, hinge forward. Hold the hinge, arms sweep back. Draw your arms around in front. Pivot your left toes, open up, warrior 2. Inhale, lengthen 1 time, straighten that right leg. Exhale, bend deeper into that right leg. Maintain the bend, reverse your warrior. Tuck your left hand behind your back. Right bicep to right ear. Come through warrior 2. Extended side angle. You can hover that right arm or release it down to your right knee. Hold it here, straighten that front right leg. Right hand down to the floor, to blocks. Left arm up towards the ceiling. We're gonna pulse it one time, lift and lower. Keep that front leg straight, reverse your triangle. Tuck your left hand behind your back. High five that wall behind you. Bend into your front right knee as you cartwheel down. Step your right leg back. You can flow with your right leg up. You can release it down to down dog. You can come through tabletop, lowering all the way down. Give me 2 mini cobras. Once you get there, press up and down. Press up. Come back through tabletop or directly downward facing dog. Pedal out your heels. Now I remembered why I always use a towel. These mats are squeaky. All right, let's do the same thing on the left side. Pedal out those heels. Lift your left leg high, three-legged dog. Bend your left knee, stack your hip, maybe circle out your left ankle. Maybe gaze under your right armpit toward your left toes. Square out your hips, kick your left leg straight back. Draw your left knee to your left elbow, over to the right, back to the left, kick it back. Draw your left knee to your nose, tap it down, and lift, kick it back. Left knee to right elbow, over to the left, back to the right, kick it back. We're gonna find our pigeon, so bend that left knee, bring it down towards the left wrist. You can hold it here or you can draw that right leg back if that's more comfortable for you. You can bring your hands to blocks, maybe a block under your left hip, chin lifted. Maybe gaze up, look back. You want to release your right quad, squeeze your glute. Fold forward, bringing your hands or forearms to blocks or towards the floor. Maybe rolling from side to side. All right, we're gonna come into figure 4 down dog. So bring your hands back under your shoulders, tuck your right foot, keep that left knee bent, and then cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Press your hips up. Nice hip opener on the left side. Keep the left foot flexed to protect your left knee. Keep the arms straight. We're gonna bend that right knee, tap down towards the floor. Doesn't have to touch. And lift. 2 more times, bend that right knee. And lift. 1 more power dog in the figure 4 position. Exhale and inhale. Release that bind, kick your left leg high. 3-legged dog. Exhale, draw your knee to your nose. Step it through. Rise up. High crescent. Shoulders stacked over your hips. We're gonna hinge forward 1 time. Hold it here, sweep your arms forward. Pivot your right toes. Open up. Squeaky, squeaky. Open up, warrior 2. We're gonna straighten that front left leg, lift, big star, deep bend. Hold it here, reverse your warrior, tuck your right hand behind your back, left arm overhead. Inhale, rise up, warrior 2. Come into extended side angle, maybe hover that left arm, maybe release it down to your left leg. Straighten that front left leg, come into triangle, release your left arm down, right arm up. Rotate rotate your right shoulder back. You can gaze up or down. Keep that left leg straight, reverse your triangle, right hand tucks behind, high five that wall behind you, open up that left hip. As you cartwheel down, bend into your front left knee, kick your left leg back. My goodness, you guys. You can flow here in 3-legged dog. Release your left leg down or release your knees down. Your choice. Full cobra. Coming through tabletop. We're back to downward facing dog. We're all going to be in down dog. Pedal out your heels. From here, release your knees down. Let's slow it down a little bit. Come to your left hip. And then we're gonna lay our shoulders back. So your knees are stacked, your left hip is down, your elbows are wide. Let's do some core work. Do 10 crunches here on the side. Reach up and release. Your elbows are wide. That's 2. Exhale on the crunch. Keep it going. You've got this. You're halfway there. And release. Crunch up. You've got it. 3 more. 2 more. On the next one, you knew there was going to be a catch. Hold at the crunch. Extend your right arm towards your toes. Crunch up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release your arms down. Yes, we have the other side. So come through center. Let's do 1 bridge here. Bring your hands by your hips. Feet are hip width apart and parallel. Draw your heels in towards your glutes. Lift up and lower. Now release your right hip down. Knees are bent, knees are stacked, elbows are wide. Crunch up for 10. Release. That's it. Keep it going. 7 more. You've got this. You're already halfway with the crunches. 3 more. Last 2. All right, you know what to do. Hold this last one. Release your right hand toward your toes. Crunch up for 5, 4, shoulders higher. 3, 2, and 1. Release down. Come back to find your bridge. So feet are flat on the floor. Release your hands by your side. Just gaze up towards the ceiling. Lift and lower. 2 more. Lift and lower. 1 more. This time hold the hips lifted. Maybe draw your hands to bind one another underneath your hips. You can walk your shoulders in, lifting your hips higher. If you have your arms binded, go ahead and release the bind. Keep your chin tucked in. Gently roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. Releasing your hips down. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Grabbing your shins or the back side of your thighs. Pull yourself into a tiny ball. Just roll side to side. Go ahead and release your head back down. Extend your legs up towards the ceiling. Reach your arms towards your toes. Point, flex, circle out your wrists, your ankles. Everything moving all class. Gently release your feet flat on the floor, one at a time or both together with your knees bent. Lift your right knee high. Draw your right ankle over your left thigh. Flex your right foot to protect your right knee. Let your right knee fall over to the right. Try to keep your shoulders in towards the floor. Come back through center. Rock over to the left. Right foot, left knee, tap down towards the floor. Come back through center. 1 more on each side. Right knee over to the right. Come back through center. From here, release your right foot flat on the floor. Lift your left leg high. Flex your left ankle. Place it on top of your right knee. You can hold it here if you like to tap that left knee down towards the left side. Doesn't have to tap the floor. Come back through center. Left foot, right knee over to the right side. Come back through center. 1 more time on each side if you're flowing from left to right. Come back through center. Right knee, left foot over to the right side. Back to center. Release your left foot on towards the floor. Bend your knees back in towards your chest. Extend your feet up towards the ceiling. You can grab the back side of your thighs. You can grab the outside of your feet. I'm gonna grab the back side of my thighs only because I'm at the hotel and I've already stepped on the floor barefoot a few times. Just rocking side to side. Happy baby. From here, keep your right knee in towards your right shoulder. Extend your left leg long. You can clasp your hands just underneath your knee on top of your right shin. Keeping that left leg flexed. Circle out your right ankle, maybe wiggle your toes. Avoiding the rib cage, drawing that right knee up and out towards your right shoulder. If you like a more active stretch, you can tuck your chin to your chest, hovering your shoulders, hover that left leg. Hold it here for 3, 2, and 1. If you had your shoulders and leg lifted, go ahead and release them back down. With your left hand, grab the outside of your right knee. Release your right hand by your right hip. Gently pull that right knee across the left side of your body. You can keep your gaze up towards the ceiling. You can also draw your gaze over to the right. Maybe extend your right arm long. You can bend your arm like a cactus. That left knee does not have to tap the floor. It can be hovering in space, maybe on a block. Gently come back to center. Keep that right knee in towards your right shoulder. Draw a few circles with your right knee. And of course, what you do in one direction, just reverse that direction. Switch left knee and right leg long. Then switch right knee and left leg long. One more time, extend the right leg. Draw your left knee in towards your left shoulder. Just clasping beneath your left knee. Flexing your right foot, pressing your calf in towards the floor. You can point, flex, or circle out that left ankle. Trying to avoid the rib cage, really drawing that left knee up towards your left shoulder. Maybe both of your shoulders are pressed in towards the floor. Try it on the other side. You want to try on this side for an active stretch. Tuck your chin to your chest, hover your shoulders, hover your right leg. You can still point, flex, or plot that left ankle. Hold it here for 3, 2, and 1. Gently release your shoulders and your leg. With your right hand, grab the outside of your left knee. Release your left hand by your hip and gently pull that left knee over to the right side body. You're welcome to keep your gaze up, maybe looking over your left shoulder. You can extend that left arm long, maybe bend your elbow. That left knee can be connected to the floor, hovering in space, maybe on a block. Hold it for the exhale. Come back through center. Keep that left knee in towards your left shoulder. And just drawing a few circles on the left side. Draw both knees back in towards your chest. Curl yourself into a tiny ball. Grabbing your shins, the back side of your thigh, maybe grabbing your wrist, your forearms, your elbows, tucking your chin to your chest. Gently release down. Extend your legs up towards the ceiling, arms by your side. Slowly release your feet down towards the floor. Once your legs get their heels together, toes fall open, you can bring your palms facing up, pinkies and thumbs out. One hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Any resting pose that's comfortable for you today. Squeeze your toes, your calves, your glutes. Clench your fist. Scrunch your shoulders up towards your ears, squeezing everything, and then release it all, letting everything go. finding your final resting pose. Bringing awareness back to your breath, wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers. Be coming back to that intention that you set in the beginning of class. Draw your knees in towards your chest. Roll to the left or right side. Curl yourself into a tiny ball. Gently pressing your hands down, pressing yourself up to a comfortable seated position. You can cross your legs. You can sit butterfly. Sitting up nice and tall, stacking your shoulders over your hips. Take your arms up high overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. I thank each and every one of you for allowing me to share my practice with you each and every week. I'm so thankful for you all. And again, happy International Day. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, rest of your weekend. Namaste. Thank you all.